but they don't have it. He's got one underneath Erica and Tom's chair, but I don't know how loud it's going to be. Yeah. Right. Do you remember that? And they're playing music? Yeah, I don't think I did this last year. I think Bob did it. Because his kid was in. Oh, yeah, I got to find that on Facebook, and I don't know how to do that whatsoever.
Yeah, it's 6:30 right now, so just let us know. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6th grade edition of the championship game for Elk Grove Park District. It's Friday night indoor lights. I'm Kyle Smith alongside John Walls for this edition of 6th grade championship basketball. Now, your name is John Walls, not to be confused with John Wall, the point guard
before,
for the Washington Wizards. But you have a good basketball type of name, so what better way to have you out in the court than for a championship game between Marquette and South Dakota State. South Dakota State at 8-2, Marquette at 7-3. And John, when it comes to Division I basketball, these two teams have the best mascots in all of sports. The Jackrabbits against the Golden Eagles.
I'm excited to see these kids. These kids play all year long. They practice. They're loyal to the house league, and this is always the funnest event to me for Elk Grove Park District.
Jump ball, and it's going to be possession arrow towards the Jackrabbits. Game starts with a layup attempt by Narang, and can't get it to go. Going to be a running clock until the last 2 minutes. Remember, everybody has to play at least one quarter. Dribble drive penetration, 5-on-5. Each team has 6 players. The Jackrabbits going with 3 guards, a power forward, and a center. Good pass, and a foul from behind. Yeah.
In these games, and I've seen enough of them, just like any other championship playoff game, there's a little nerves in the beginning, and they'll settle in eventually.
Inbounds underneath the basket, and it's going to be a traveling violation. That time it's against Odin York, the power forward. So unlike the NBA, John, we'll see some traveling tonight.
Traveling turnovers early for sure. Fourth quarters are always fun to watch here in these games.
Well, when you watch the Houston Rockets, they don't call traveling a lot on them, but they sure have their fair share of turnovers.
Nice wide open layup here.
As a layup, good by the Golden Eagles. Landon Weingart, first basket for either team. And that's the way you're going to score tonight, John. Not a lot of three-point shooting. You're going to have to do a lot of good backdoor cuts and make those layups.
Yeah, it looks like Marquette coach likes to double team in the corners, which is really solid play. Good shot there.
Open mid-range, Jay can't get it to fall, and it's rebounded by Balmus.
So those that haven't seen this, or the rules are, you cannot press underneath the basket under half court until the last 2 minutes of the third and fourth quarter. So if you see defenses clearing out, that is a rule.
Kicked out to about 10 feet away, and Weingart has it stolen away by the Jackrabbits. Cheyenne Deh.
Aggressive defense by South Dakota State.
Good shot there, and it falls for Ben Schaefers. We're all knotted up at 2. A lot of mid-range shots for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, Montag for Marquette and Dave for South Dakota State, probably the 2 tallest players. After that, it's all about equal.
Montag with a basket. Narang with a basket. And Schaefers made it 2-2. Another mid-range Jay. Almost at the top of the backboard, but didn't, and it's rebounded by Marquette. That time it's Montag. And it looks like they're going to go with Balmus as their point guard tonight. Almost stolen away, and that time it is. So the Jackrabbits with a lot of steals. Let's see if they can connect with their half-court sets.
Good shot. Marquette's running a lot of offense to the left side of the rim, and that's where SDS is getting all their turnovers.
South Dakota State against Marquette. SDSU, the number 1 seed at 8-2. Marquette 7-3. It's all chalk in this tournament. Coming up after this, it'll be the 7th and 8th grade team. That's also a 1 versus 2 matchup in the title game. Driving in. Open look. Can't get it to go. Try to get his own board. Can, and it's rebounded by the Jackrabbits. They're looking to push. 2-on-2 basketball, and then reset by Schaefers. Schaefers double-teamed near the baseline.
Schaefers looks good out of the gate. I haven't seen these teams play yet, but he's heads up. He's been sharing the ball. I think he probably has, well, he's had at least 1 assist, but many attempts.
And the only basket for the Jackrabbits.
He looks to me like a true point guard.
Yeah, it looks like they have him at the off-guard position, although right now he's defending Balmus at the point. Kick back out about 2 feet behind the three-point line. Driving in, he's got space, and great job breaking through, but can't get it to go.
Schaefers with the rebound again.
And now Schaefers has space. Schaefers, and jump shot,
there.
no. Rebounded by the Jackrabbits, and go to the line for 2. That'll be Cheyenne Deh.
Heitman goes straight up. He probably doesn't get the foul. But he reached in.
Remember, it's still a running clock until the last 2 minutes. And we'll see if strategy comes into play. If a team's up by more than 10, if they're going to try to, not rush their free throw attempts. Shot good.
I like the arc if he gets a little more rotation.
Front court players don't need to make free throws.
Right.
Shaquille O'Neal is one of the best players in the NBA. Awful at free throws. Second one by Deh. Good.
Shot.
He's got a good-looking free throw shot.
Sure
He works
does.
on that arc. He's going to be definitely a player to watch at the next level in high school.
He gets on his toes, too, which many kids don't, especially at this age. They have to jump at a free throw. Montag, head down, straight to the rim, a little strong.
Yeah, that's a possession that William Weingart's going to tell his players at the first time out. Look, we need at least 3 passes before a shot. That's just too much of a circus shot early on in the possession to do. Offensive board towards the Jackrabbits.
That'll be
Jump
a
ball, and Marquette basketball. So what have you seen so far from Marquette on the offensive end?
Well, they're sharing the ball, maybe not as well as San Diego or South Dakota State, but it looks like they're trying to get it in deep. Montag has been flashing the lane a lot, but he's been keeping the ball. Like you mentioned earlier, if he can take that, maybe a high screen roll or get the forwards down low involved, it would be helpful.
Both teams have similar sizes.
That's a good shot. Good rebound.
I don't know if that was a pass, but we're going to give him an assist.
That's an assist in this league. No question.
Narang on the layup. We're all tied at 4. Bounce pass inside. Deh can't get it to go.
So early on, the offenses were taking mid-range shots. Now everything seems to be coming down low. They're making an effort to get down low.
And Marquette's going to do a better job of boxing out. That's now the 5th offensive board.
Owen York, I think, might be one of the more nervous players out there. I know he's a good player, but the last 3 possessions, he's started to run before the dribble. I think if he calms down, he could be a factor.
Yeah, we got a starting lineup by South Dakota State. Meanwhile, Marquette, they play all different types of positions. So we'll see if that works out for South Dakota State having more of a standard lineup. Driving in, can't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Another thing in this league, Kyle, that I forgot to mention is zone is not allowed. I mean, you see that a lot in Park District programs and some of the lower feeder ends. I love it. I love the fact that it forces you to play man-to-man defense. That's how you're supposed to learn.
Sure, and unless you're a really good coach like Boeheim, a lot of college teams are going to run man-to-man.
Yeah.
Because most teams, except for Syracuse, don't have that kind of speed to run a very good zone.
Yeah, and a good zone is really hard to beat. But if you're here to teach kids how to get to the next level, I'm a firm believer man-to-man is the way to go.
Absolutely. And in the NBA, most of the time you'll see man-to-man. Meanwhile, the score is 5-4 in favor of the Golden Eagles. Ball falls to the floor. Everybody going after it. Somehow goes to a Jackrabbits player. That's Deh. And are they going to call it before the shot?
You got a 3-second violation.
Oh, I don't know about that.
South Dakota State's running this. Deh comes up and sets a screen, and then he rolls to the rim. And that's going to work if they keep with it. It will open up.
Trying to pick the pocket was Rishan Shah, but not able to. But he does it again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's what Shah does. Drives in, can't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line for 2. And once again, back to the charity stripe are the Jackrabbits.
The home team is now in the bonus. We've had quite a few fouls. With this real quick timeout, Kyle, I want to mention we have some great referees in this program we've had for years. PJ's in front of the scoring table here. Danny O'Donnell's over by the fans. Danny's been doing this forever. And Anthony, who has been doing it for a couple years as well. These guys have been around a long time. They like it just as much as the kids do.
All tied up at 5. I think it's going to be one of those games where it comes down to the last possession. Both teams are pretty much evenly matched, and it shows in their records. Marquette just has 1 fewer win than South Dakota State.
Yeah, it's a fun event. The All-Star game is next week, and the parents, there's just this whole gym is packed. Not too many years ago, this game would have been taking place on a Saturday, and the basketball board, who does a great job here, they decided, you know what, Friday night, that's what you should do for this age group.
Friday night indoor lights. I mean,
absolutely.
That's what it is at the high school level.
And the 7th, 8th grade team, I guarantee you, there'll be a lot of kids that aren't playing, friends and family, come out and watch, their buddies play. It's just a great night.
5-5 the score. Remember, it's running clock until the 3rd and fourth quarter. So who do you think the best player for both teams in that first quarter was? It looked like for South Dakota State, from what I saw, it was Schaefer's. For Marquette, looked like it was Montag.
Yeah, Montag is a pretty good player. For South Dakota State, though, the guy that cleaned up was Day underneath.
Yeah.
Like you said, don't know how the ball got to him, but it got to him. And he's taking his shots. He's got to have, I think he's got at least a couple points, if not 2 baskets.
Yeah, he had both of those free throws, and he was going to have a layup, but they called 3-second violation.
Right.
So we're all tied up at 5. We appreciate you watching this game on Facebook Live, as showing a beautiful shot of us on the Skycam. Owen York into the game.
Day is going to sit this quarter. I'm going to guess he'll play fourth quarter.
Yeah, he has a lot of size to
And
not use him in the
Marquette
fourth quarter.
Balmus is still out there. Heitman. Number 2, Paskett. David Paskett's checking in. And then Montag is sitting this quarter for Marquette. I suspect you'll see that Da, I believe is the pronunciation, and Montag in the fourth quarter as well. Yeah, that's a little extra step.
Could have gone either way, though, because it looked like Narang got him on the hip check, but they called the travel before the hip check. The Golden Eagles against the Jackrabbits. Winner wins the 6th grade title.
It's funny, this set, Marquette kind of does a 4 across with a 1 or a point guard up top. Does spread the floor out quite a bit.
And that's the kind of pass you're going to learn at the next level to not do, because when you're that close to the backcourt line, usually that pass is going to get stolen.
Right.
But Marquette, luckily, not get stolen, and they maintain possession of the basketball.
So as I was mentioning, there's no zones allowed, except South Dakota State looked like they were in a bit of a zone there, but they do just enough man-to-man to not get the call.
Yeah, you can mask it. It can look like a zone, but it's still man-to-man. Remember, each team only has 6 players, so substitutions are not going to be problematic tonight. Tried to pass it behind, underneath the basket, and it was last touched off the leg. It was last touched by Heitman.
It looks like Shaw has taken the place on the floor for Da. If he does a jab step and goes to the rim, he's going to be wide open all night.
They moved York from the 4 to the 5, and that's another mid-range J for the Jackrabbits. They're back on top, 7-5.
Jaden Narang bringing the ball up for Marquette. Looks like they have 2 capable ball handlers out on the floor right now in Balmus and Narang.
Always good to have multiple people that can facilitate. Driving in, triple team comes. Leads to an easy mid-range, but can't get it to fall. Ball miss and rebounded by the opposing number 1, Rishan Shah.
Great court awareness. I like that he was 2 feet from the rim, but was triple teamed and got it out for a nice look.
Oh, look at that dime. But just can't get the layup to go down, and it's rebounded by the Golden Eagles. On the rebound was Heitman, and now out to Balmus.
Schaefer sees the whole court. We can tell that already.
That's definitely a pass. It's going to get you some looks by some high school coaches. Now, do all of these kids live in Elk Grove, John?
Well, Elk Grove's got a kind of a weird situation. Half the kids are going to probably feed into Elk Grove High School, and the other half will feed into Conant, which is technically Hoffman Estates, but it's only a half a mile up the road.
David Paskett on the mid-range J. What an exciting game we had tonight. Back tied up at 7.
A little underscoring than I thought. I think we'll get a little more scoring, but I love the fact that both teams are competing.
That time trying to get it to the new center in York, but it's stolen by Paskett. Paskett driving in.
Nice
Goes
shot.
coast to coast. The bank is open late tonight.
He had 3 in front of him. I thought he should pull it out, but he just put his head down and dribbled into an open spot and made the jumper.
Assists aren't going to get you that mega contract, John. You got to get buckets.
That's true. That's true.
Got to be like Uncle Drew and get buckets.
They put points in the paper. They don't put assists. Good shot.
Yeah, good idea. They're not always going to fall down, but when you got the open look like that, pull the trigger, and that's what he did.
I like Schaefer's for sure. You mentioned him after the first quarter. I'm starting to see more and more of him seeing the whole court, taking good, clean shots, but he's not hogging the ball. He's not making, egregious errors. Ooh.
Looked like it was kicked. And no call. They're going to play on. Jump ball. Should be Jackrabbits basketball, and it is. Oh, no, I thought it should have been Jackrabbits ball because the last jump ball was towards Marquette.
Yeah.
That's a big call because Marquette can now make it a 12-7 lead if they get the 3.
I thought he took an extra step there, but
Yeah, you don't want to call too many travels. You want the kids to play, and you want them to get used to the next level, too. In high school, they'll call travels, but things that ticky-tack, probably not.
good screen by Owen York.
What a very nice crossover, just couldn't finish.
That was a great play.
And, yeah, this is a good idea by Marquette. Slow it down and get the play you want.
Yeah, they spread the court, wide open lane, and they have and Narang has the ability to make a move and attempt a layup.
So Narang going to the line, trying to make it an 11-7 lead if he can connect on both. Trying to hit the second one to make it a 3-point lead.
So one thing at this level and under levels, if we could just get a consistent shot, rotation, good angle, get on your toes for the free throws, just does players so much better.
Might have been too early in the possession to shoot, but it was open enough. That's definitely a travel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can do that in hockey, not so much in basketball.
Right. Balmus has done pretty well on defense for Schaefer's. He's got his hands full and he's keeping up with them.
I really like the dribbling by Shaw. Very aggressive, knows where the defense is at all times, and is able to beat him off the dribble. That time can't get the mid-range shot to fall down, and it's rebounded by Paskett.
Good steal by Jasnik.
And the Jackrabbers looking to push. Shot goes off the top, which means it'll be Golden Eagles basketball. I like the idea there, John, but it looked like he had enough space to try to drive in for the layup.
I think he didn't want to lose his opportunity to take the shot, so he took it. But you're right, another 2 steps, and it might be just an easy layup.
Yeah, that's when you want to learn to use that floater. Even if you don't have enough room for the layup, you get a couple more steps and then just ease that shot up like Ben Gordon used to do for the Bulls. 1:48 on the game clock. It's a 9-7 lead for the Golden Eagles. South Dakota State, the #1 seed. Wouldn't that be awesome if that happened in March Madness this year?
There'd be a lot of lost money at Vegas on
that. San Diego State, though, has a very good shot at being a #1 seed. Driving in, beautiful dribbles. Can he finish?
Oh.
No, and it's rebounded by Owen York, the backup center, starting power forward.
So Narang didn't wait for his screen, and if he would have, it would have been even more wide open. Owen York just head down at it.
Yeah, good idea. I saw that he had a mismatch. Attacks Heitman, who wasn't ready to block the shot, and going to the line for 2 was York.
Paskett gave PJ a little look on that call, and I'm not going to disagree with him. It looked like he went straight up, but he might have got him with the body. It's hard to see from where we're at.
I don't know. From what I saw, it looked like he got all arm. It's never easy being a basketball official, and I've always said this on my broadcast. Basketball officiating is so much harder than the 3 other major sports, and that includes hockey. Even though hockey is the fastest sport on earth,
good rebound.
It's just such a subjective game that basketball is.
Well, you only have a couple friends in the stands, and that's usually family, right?
Yeah.
After that, everybody's not a fan of yours.
One team will be happy, and the other team not so much.
Good block. Owen York with a good rebound.
Jump ball. Now it's to the Jackrabbits.
Yeah. Good play by Heitman. He didn't give up on it and forced basically, change the possession arrow, but he got the jump ball out of it.
13 seconds now. Turnaround, Jay. Schaefer's again.
Schaefer's ties the game with 6 seconds left.
They got time. 2 seconds left. Got to shoot at the buzzer. Good look. Can't get it to fall, and that will do it for the first half. Golden Eagles 9, Jackrabbits 9. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. You're watching 6th grade basketball here on EGTV. Third quarter about to start. Kyle Smith alongside John Walls. Marquette against South Dakota State. And there's the big man back into the game, Mr. Walls, number 10, Cheyenne Dad.
Yeah, we talked about him at half and also Montag. It's an interesting matchup. I think both coaches, even though it's only 9-9, which the scoring is low for this game, but I think both coaches would be happy if we told them they'd be tied at half.
9-9 the score. There really hasn't been one player that stepped up to the table and been must-watch. It's really been good team basketball from both teams. I think in this quarter, this is the quarter when Cheyenne Dad is going to try to become a huge force out there at the center position. They're going to try to run some plays through him.
Good help defense there. Good switch.
Driving in, and Dat on the foul. Going to the line for two will be Michael Montag.
If that's on... Who was that foul on?
It should have been on 10.
That's what I thought. That's his first.
Yeah, the only person in foul trouble is Carl Heitman with 3.
Ooh. Montag wants that back. Comes up short.
That's all right.
Typically, you see short free throws later in the game, not early.
I'd rather you be short than long.
Yeah.
When you're short, it means you're tired. When you're long, it means there's something wrong with your arc and your mechanics.
Right, exactly right. Makes the second. 10-9 Marquette.
Marquette has had the lead for most of this one. Jackrabbits started off hot, but Marquette's defense, they made it tough on Dad and the rest of the boys, including Schaefer's, to get into a rhythm. Jackrabbits trying to retake the lead, driving in, and can't get it to fall on the finger roll attempt. But once again, the Jackrabbits quicker on the take than Marquette on the offensive boards, and they get the ball back, and there's Dad again.
What a play. I thought he should have taken the jumper. He took a couple steps in, drew the defense, and Da was wide open.
So even though the NBA and college basketball is trended towards guard play, today it's old school front court play. Cheyenne Dad manning himself up in the front court.
He plays good help defense, too. He realizes his player might not be able to take a long three, so why defend out there? Use his presence down as far as he can.
Yeah, the team that can make some threes, I think, is going to win tonight, because at this level, it's going to be hard to find answers with the three-point shot.
Ooh, tough
Out
turnover
of bounds,
there.
and it'll be Jackrabbits basketball. 11-10 the score. Once again, it's a running clock.
Tough to grab a basketball by your feet, especially the taller kids. We hate that. Just get it to my chest. Anything below the waist turns into a disaster.
See if they run a post up to Dad on this possession. They don't, but a great rotation play. Dad gets the board and misses both shots.
Shaz both times now has dribbled deep down into the right corner, and it's opened up for Da.
So they're going to give it to
Wide
Dad.
open underneath. Good play. Oh, doesn't fall.
Going to the line for two will be Ben Schaefer's.
Schaefer's had two looks at that. It didn't fall.
First one good by Schaefer's. Favorite basketball player is Colby White. Favorite musical artist, Imagine Dragons. He also likes to play soccer, golf, and he runs a little bit of track.
It's a well-rounded athlete. Makes the second.
Just an overall good athlete, good basketball player. Makes both of his free throws, and now Marquette needs a three or a three-point play to make it a tie score. Jaden Narang with the basketball. Passes it out to Balmus on his right hand. Guarded closely by Schaefer's.
Montag is working hard to get open downneath, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a silly foul. Marquette was all out of sorts. That time you just want to sag off and see if they're going to throw the ball away since they were so far behind the three-point line.
Good inbounds by Balmus to go get the ball instead of waiting for it.
Out to Narang. Narang, a very nice dribble behind the back, driving in. He's got to kick it out or it's going to be a travel, and he does. Mid-range shot. Goes off the backboard and rim. Doesn't fall. Rebounded by Marquette. That time it's a three. Tries to use the bank, and there's Dad again. This time with the rebound. Oh, what a move. Hesitation move, and it's going to be rebounded by Marquette. As they'll look to slow it down. Remember, there's no full court press until the last 2 minutes.
It'll get exciting. I don't think I've ever seen a coach not use the full court press when it's available.
Well, sure. And when it's under a minute, you have to use the full court press regardless of what the score is, even if you're down 1 because there's no shot clock.
Right.
So you'll see that at the high school level a lot. You're only down by 1 and there's a minute 12 left, but you still have to foul because the other team can just run the clock out. I saw that when I was broadcasting the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic between Homewood Flossmoor and DePaul College Prep, and there's De again.
De is having a game.
You know, you don't expect a front court player to have such a nice touch with that jump shot, but he does.
Timeout. Marquette wants to talk it over. It's 15-10. Certainly not out of reach, but they were on a little bit of a run, right?
Yeah, and really the only player the last 5 minutes that has taken control in the offensive end is De. I know it's Park Drissick, and you don't want to have to use the double team, but because nobody else on South Dakota State has come up to the table besides maybe Schaefer's, you might want to use that double team here on De.
I agree, and you can do a double team. It's not against the rules, but you got to throw somebody at him.
Double team De and see if South Dakota State can make those mid-range shots or even threes. But it's still very much in reach. You're only down by 5. But somebody for Marquette, you got to have a rhythm on offense. It just seems like everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and they don't have a certain guy they want to go to or a certain kind of play they want to run.
And sometimes if you don't have somebody that's completely better than everybody on the court, you're trying to play team ball, you get behind, that gets a little nerve-wracking. But they do have to find an answer for Da. He's dominating right now. Danny O'Donnell doing his best. Longtime referee in this program.
Cheyenne De goes to Adolph Link Elementary School. He'll be attending Conant High School in a couple of years. Favorite player is Steph Curry. Maybe that's why he has such a good shot, because he's trying to idolize the famous point guard for the Golden State Warriors.
Montag's in trouble, but dribbles out of it. Smart move. Good take. Doesn't get rewarded. That's going to be South Dakota State ball.
2:37 on the game clock. Cheyenne De leading both teams in terms of points. Might also be leading both teams in terms of rebounds. Driving in. That shot on the floater. Rebounded by Marquette, and they're looking to push.
Ooh,
almost a backcourt violation.
Backcourt. Montag got him to takes kind of a wild shot. I wish he would have just stopped, little jump stop. But he did get Da to fall for a move.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Da can work on in his game is not always going for that steal all the time. You have enough size, just have confidence in your post-up defense. And you don't always have to go for that steal, because if you go after it and you don't get it, then there's a mismatch in the paint. Trying to kick it back out, and they do. Driving in, help defense is there. There's Da.
Again.
Just too much, number 10.
Leads to 7. And I don't see any press out of Marquette, which is surprising. Ooh, nice take.
Well, the problem really isn't that South Dakota State is having trouble with dribbling. It's just Marquette hasn't found an answer for Da, and they haven't used that double team yet.
Good ball fake. Basket's wide open.
Is he going to try it? He will. Will it fall? No. And they're on the board.
Weingart. Nice rebound, but 2 South Dakota State players on him immediately.
It's all right, because they had to reach in for the foul. Da guarding on the inbounds.
Oh, that's a push from behind.
Should
Got
have,
away with it.
Looked like a push from behind.
Oh, he's still battling to get a shot up.
Yeah.
Smartly brings it out top.
Marquette going cold from the floor.
That's a good look, though.
Rebounded by Rishan Shah.
You can't get upset too much at those shots.
Rishan Shah, whose favorite musical artist is Queen. And
what a move.
Marquette is just getting beat off the dribble on those dribble drive penetration moves. And they got to find an answer, and they got to find an answer quick. Biggest lead of the night, 9 points for the Jackrabbits.
Nice.
That's an answer.
Close to being a 3. Now we got Coach pressing full court. Sherfus gets right through it. Easy layup. Missed. Guess who's got the ball?
31 seconds. I'm assuming Marquette will hold for the last shot if they can even keep possession of it.
Yeah, that was good defense by South Dakota State. They hadn't shown the press at all, but on a missed shot, you're there, you might as well get into it.
So now the Jackrabbits get the basketball back on the jump ball. Rishan Shah getting after it. Oh, beautiful pump fake. Back out to the top of the key. Wow. David Paskett, who's been very quiet on the offensive end, but doesn't matter when you make them.
Makes his presence known at the right time with 20 seconds left.
You don't have to make a lot of shots. You just got to make them very clutch-like. And that time, Weingart on the board.
Fouled.
I don't think anybody remembers how many points Big Shot Bob had for the Lakers, but when he made that big-time three against the Kings in that Western Conference Final, we all remember Robert Horry. Weingart shot no good, goes off the side of the rim. 21-12 score. There's 10 seconds on the clock.
Wonder if you see a timeout if this is made.
Big time rebound by Da. Under 8 to go.
No reason to speed up on this. Although I take that back.
Oh my gosh,
Why
Da
not?
open.
Why not? Da gets to
Wow.
the foul line with 2.4 to go in the third quarter. South Dakota State can get this to a double-digit lead with one of these made.
Cheyenne Deh has over 10 points. Got to have at least 5 rebounds.
Easily, right? Couple offensive. Good-looking shot. So if you're Marquette, right, we're going to go into the fourth quarter. You're down double digits. You're probably going to see, the best 5 he's got. And you're going to have to take some chances, like you said, take some threes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no,
Will
he
he get
didn't.
it before the buzzer can't? But Cheyenne Deh.
He almost had Christmas, birthday, every gift you could think of handed to him right there.
Cheyenne Deh, leading scorer with over 10, over 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, Marquette trailing 22-12. They've done everything right. They just can't find an answer for Deh.
Yeah, and they've missed some open looks. It just seems like South Dakota State's offense flows a little bit more. I know we keep calling Da's name, but the other players are in their spots doing their thing too. Marquette just seems to be, I don't know if it's nerves or what, but it's just a little disconnected on offense.
So for Marquette, remember the running clock still is in effect for the fourth quarter. You need to start thinking about three-pointers.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, they've got some athletes on this team, and maybe the first 3 minutes, see what you get. Maybe not even, maybe 2 minutes. But after that, you're going to have to be aggressive, and I'm sure South Dakota State's going to understand that. They're probably going to guard out a little bit further.
Now it's decision time for Steve Schaefer. Do you want to run out for the entire fourth quarter, or do you want to have him sit for the first 2 minutes, see how the game goes, and if you need him, you can put him back out there. If not, you can keep the remaining the 5 players that you have out on the court.
Yeah, I think he'll play the whole quarter. I'd be surprised. Right behind us is a bunch of hardware that these kids are looking at. And I've coached and called many house games, and there's not many coaches that care if you win by a lot. Some of the coaches, maybe not these two in particular, but they can tell you what the score was at a championship game from 10 years ago, and they're the only ones that can.
If you're just joining us, 22-12 is the score. Cheyenne Deh with over 10 points and over 5 rebounds.
Marquette's got Balmus, Montag, Narang, Heitman, and I believe Montag, correct? Yeah, Paskett too.
And the officials making sure we have the right rotations in and substitutions.
So it'll start out Marquette's ball. We'll see what Coach drew up at the quarter.
Remember, it's a running clock, so you need something quick because South Dakota State, they can hold on to the ball for as long as they'd like.
A set play coming out.
Yeah, they just haven't had a lot of success with the pick and roll tonight.
Jump ball. Paskett had a drive to the lane, and the ball got on his hip, and it's just a turnover, unfortunately.
Well, 3 guesses who's going to get the ball on this possession. And there's the guy right
Already.
there. Oh, my goodness.
Just unstoppable at this point. You got a double team, but he's almost strong enough to get through a double team.
He should definitely consider travel in AAU next year. This kid is the real deal.
Let's remember, we're talking 6th grade.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he's going to get taller, and he's going to get even more skilled in a couple more years. 24-12 the score, and that'll be a backcourt violation if it's touched by Marquette, and that was dangerous. As almost falling to the floor was Balmus, tried to save it, couldn't. Either way, it was going to be Jackrabbits basketball because of the backcourt violation. Under 7 to go. There's the man of the hour, number 10. Repping the white T-shirt, and one of the few mistakes he's made all night. Stolen away by Marquette, and they got to push. And they do. Shot no good. Going for the board was Deb, but over the back is called.
So we extended to 12 points. And I believe, like we've said, you're going to have to start taking some outside shots. Got a timeout here. We're at the 1-1 now.
Marquette's got a rush. 6:16 remaining.
Yeah, Heitman on the line for 2.
And then strategy comes into play, John, as we get down in this fourth quarter. Under 3 to go. Don't be surprised if you see Marquette miss one on purpose to try to get the board.
No question.
Rebounded by Deh. He's eyeing the double-double tonight.
You know, whether you like it or not, I've seen it before where the leading team will actually start fouling to get in the bonus. It draws the clock down at the end of the game.
Now with the basketball is Balmus.
Schaefer's is playing everything we see on offense, but he's a real good defender, too. He keeps his chest and hips square to the offensive player, and he watches the chest. He doesn't watch the ball. He's a good player.
He doesn't have to do that much more tonight because Dez taken over the offensive end, so Schaefer can just be the facilitator and focus on defense. Shot no good. Offensive board, and that might be the dagger. It's now 26-12, a 9-9 score. At halftime is now 26-12 in favor of the Jackrabbits.
I want to believe, and I should have wrote it down, but I believe this game was 10-10 at one point. So you're looking at a
actually, it was 10-9 Marquette.
Yeah, so you're looking at a 14-2 run, 14-3 run.
That'd be a
wide open look here.
17-2 run.
Yeah.
Jackrabbits get the board under 5 to go. You know, they could have
Good
utilized
move.
the double team if they wanted to. That mid-range shot good by Rishan Shah.
Shah, nice move. Little ball fake to his right, goes to his left. Not many kids go to their left if they're right-handed players. Timeout Marquette.
Timeout Marquette.
That was impressive play.
Well, we were wondering if Marquette was going to utilize the double team, and they could have done it. I think the real problem is they were eyeing D, and then once the dribble drive penetration came in, they put too many people out there and allowed D to get wide open underneath the hoop.
And a lot of it at this age group, I call it the soccer syndrome. Little kids playing soccer, there is no positions. The position is there's 22 kids around the ball.
And they all bunch together.
Exactly right. And you see that a little bit in basketball, too, whether it's offense or defense. You know, like we say, the more you can spread a court out, the better you're going to be.
Now, do they do MVP trophies?
No, they don't. They don't. We know who we would vote for, don't we? No question.
28-12 with 4:28 to go. Now for Marquette, you still want to play within your game. You have no choice, though. You have to shoot threes, or you could try a quick inbounds play, drive to the basket, and see if Dad or somebody else fouls you, and you get the N1.
And also, I think what you're going to see, hopefully, South Dakota State kind of take the air out of the ball on offense, but that's hard in this league, right? You're in the championship game. You got 6th graders, the moms and dads, the cameras. You might see a couple shots put up, maybe not the opportune time, but that's what you have to live with. Oh,
yeah,
he
backcourt.
just didn't see the backcourt violation.
That's great defense, though, by South Dakota State.
Yeah,
they forced him in a tough spot. He's not used to dribbling that many times, and it leads to a backcourt violation.
And maybe a little frustration out of Marquette. Balmus is, you can tell he's taking it seriously. He's playing really hard-nosed defense when he has to. Good rebound by Paskett.
As you can hear William Heingart telling his boys, we got to go. We're down by too much.
Ooh, good save. That's Heitman. Oh, that's just how it's been for Marquette.
And
You
the,
know?
the second half, sometimes when it rains, it pours,
It
and that's
does,
what's
it
going on
does.
for the Golden Eagles.
Nobody did anything wrong there. It just happened to have two players converge at once. It was a great save down low. And it's not a under level grade game without a tying a shoe timeout. I promise you.
There's always that one kid who refuses to get Velcro.
Right. Yeah, we got a reach foul. You can just look at Balmus. He's a good player. He's a good athlete. You can just see a little bit of frustration. He's just got the look in the 1-and-1.
Well, sometimes you got to learn hard lessons in big-time games. And for Marquette, when the dribble drive comes in, stay on your man, especially if it's a guy like Deh who has a lot of athleticism.
Yeah.
Stay on him and box him out. When they bunch together, it allowed Deh to get easy layups.
Yep, easy layups. Yeah, so this is where the Marquette team and coach is just, they're dying on the vine. They got one-on-one, and the clock is ticking.
But let's give Deh credit. Even on that free throw attempt, you saw him do that nice little spin move.
Yeah.
Swam around the defender to try to get the offensive board if it was a missed free throw. He has a very good basketball IQ.
One of the best compliments you can give any basketball player is after you watch them play, if you can't figure out if they're right-handed or left-handed, especially at this age. Wide open layup there. Oh, no backboard.
Yeah, rushed it a little bit. He had enough time. Or what you can do is just do the up and under, see if you draw the foul. If not, just get the easy layup because the defender will go over the top of you.
And I'm fine with a jump stop. I'm a little old school on that, but a jump stop, you're either going to get fouled or you're going to get a layup, one of the two.
Or you'll get the layup and the foul.
That'll work.
At the top of the key, driving in. That time it's Aiden Jasnik, and they haven't need Jasnik a lot tonight because of Deh's game.
He's had high energy all game, though. He has not been burned by his man.
And that's why I'm glad they have these stats like plus-minus, real plus-minus player efficiency rating, because just because you scored 60 points in a game doesn't mean you were very efficient. Like, I'm sad about what happened to Kobe, but his last game, he had 60 points, but it was also on like 30 or 35 shots.
He's getting a full court press here by Marquette. They had it, and again, just a little bad luck. Rolls off a hip right to the other player.
So that's why I'm glad they have these next-level stats. Points are great, rebounds are great, assists are great, but you want to have those next-level stats too to really show how efficient a player has been. 30-12 the score, and
we got a reach foul on Marquette. Now under 2 minutes, the clock stops, but unfortunately, it just might not be enough time left.
Yeah, the only time they would have a chance is they'd have to get a three and then foul right away.
Yeah, and it's a little higher basketball IQ. At the 6th grade level, they're doing what they can, but Marquette's played a good game. I just don't think their offense ever clicked at all tonight. Nobody got consistently hot.
They just didn't run enough good plays for their good players like Narang and Montag. But really, the major problem with Marquette tonight was on the defensive end. Too many open layups for Deh, not boxing him out well enough. And sometimes you just got to make that adjustment quickly. If Deh has 6 points going into the third quarter, you've got to double team because nobody else was picking it up in terms of scoring for the Jackrabbits besides Deh.
I agree, but I will say this. As a coach, sometimes you'll say, hey, we're not going to let so-and-so beat us. We're not going to let 10 beat us. I even think if the coach would have said that, I think he still would have as many points and rebounds as he is. I think he's just that good.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only thing you could have done is, number one, double team, or number two, been better about staying on your man when the dribble drive comes in.
Yeah, Narang with a free throw. 31-13. Full court press here. Ooh, they're going to have a time limit here soon. That was close. That was a 9.
And that's the time that Deh probably should have tried to hold on to the ball and kick it back out to run clock, but that's okay.
Ooh, we got a charge.
So this will be the time when the Jackrabbits will probably just hold on to the ball. And
so Schaefer's just took the charge, which will get you a lot of playing minutes in high school. Coaches love when you take a charge. He's played a good game, too. Owen was wide open there for a minute.
Rebounded by York, the starting power forward. The other three, Schaefer, Shaw, and then mixing and matching between Jasnik and Suleiman. They were the 3 guards tonight for the Jackrabbits.
He's got a 5-second call here if he doesn't get rid of it, and he does just in time. Down to 27 seconds. Looks like South Dakota State is going to walk away with this one fairly easily in the second half scoring.
Yeah, remember, it was a 9-9 score at halftime, and it was 10-9 Marquette early on in the third quarter, but after that it was all Cheyenne Da and the Jackrabbits.
Montag's been snake bit. He's had a couple wide open shots. I mean, just a tight rim, or he's hitting the back or the front. Oh, he went for the shot. Coach is probably not happy with that, but I think he's going to let him get away with it.
Head coach Steve Schaefer's like, dude, we're up 31-13. Just hold on to the ball.
Long 3 at the end.
Oh, there you go. Hey, they lost the game, but you gave the fans something to cheer about.
What's funny is you watch this team, every one of Marquette's teammates gave him a high five, and they're all smiling on a 3. Yeah, they lost, but that's kind of what it's all about.
Have fun and don't give up.
Right.
The great
Kyle, it was a lot of fun this game. We got one more coming. We appreciate all our fans watching on Channel 6, on Facebook Live. I believe we're going to take a small break, and we'll be back to the 7th, 8th grade championship game.
You're watching EGTV here on Facebook Live.